Hey guys, so today we're going to apply a convex grind to the Beck Saranac. I've done this with several of my knives, and for me, convex just works the best. So to explain what I'm going to do, this is a very standard type grind here. You have your primary grind right there, and then you have a secondary, which I'm catching with a light right here. Sorry about the flies, but it is dry season. And so you guys can see that over here. You have initial grind off both sides, and then right at the bottom, you have a sharper angle. Now, there's a thing called a Scandinavian grind, a true Scandinavian, which means that the two edges are brought down together without any kind of secondary grind at all in a straight line. However, that has a tendency of leaving this part of the edge very, very fragile, or can be. So what we're going to do is, coming from the top of that primary grind, we're going to come down to a point here without grinding up into that. We're not trying to take away anything from this area. We're just removing here. So you can see on this a little bit better. Here's a secondary grind. We're going to go from there and just remove this in one nice easy angle. And to make sure that we don't dig into the point or the actual edge right here on that secondary, I'm going to take a Sharpie, and we're going to cover the edge of that secondary up to here. And I'll end up doing this on both sides, so that as I'm taking metal away from here, I'm not going all the way over and going right into my edge. I'm going to preserve the edge where it's at. I'm just removing this little hump of metal right through here in a nice even angle from here down. So the tools I have available to get this done, I'll be using some 3-in-1 oil to keep all the grit up and moving off of the stones. I've got a platform here out of wood and leather that I will be placing on my leg, and that will be my base to work off of. I've got this nice flat little diamond stone, the medium grit. I have another I think it's a 2x10 diamond stone, a little bit rougher grit. A combination Easy Lap or Mr. Smith's grindstone, also diamond. I have a diamond rod just in case I need it. I don't think I will. I do have a white ceramic rod, but I doubt I'll be needing that one either. And of course, the Sharpie for marking the edge, the secondary edge. And lastly, a whole lot of sandpaper. Now, primarily what I'll be doing is using the diamond stones initially, and once I get it very close, then I will switch over to wrapping the diamond stones in sandpaper so that I still have that nice flat surface, and working my way through the grits until that is completed. right along the edge. We're going to try to get the angle right so you guys can see this. We're grinding up and removing metal just above that secondary grind line and right at its peak here, but we're not touching the edge. We're not messing with the edge of the blade, just the shoulder above it. A flat, slight angle. This is where we're at right now. All through here is good. Nice crisp line on top. But as you'll see right here, let me see if I can get that. If you can see that in the reflection, right here, I've got a little bit of a low spot. And if you can see that where the edge actually is, I have a hairline edge all the way up to right about here. And from there to there, it goes back a little bit far. So I've got a little bit of area to remove right here to even all this up. And I'm sorry if the reflection is not grabbing that. So what I'm going to do about this, put a dot of oil right there, take the coarse side stone, put this nice and solid, feel where the angle is that I'm looking for, the flat, and just work this back and forth until everything lines up. So this is the shoulder after using the diamond stone, all the way down from the beginning of the primary grind all the way down. And if you can just see a little bit of reflection right there, that's all that's left of that secondary edge. So next up is to wrap the diamond stone in wet dry sandpaper. I'm going to use some 220 for this to get the initial start. And the goal is to get a nice uniform scratch lines all the way down. This is after using the 220 grit. Switch to the other side. Nice and even. All the way down to just almost perfect. Now you can still see there's a slight spot right here where the grind was a little deeper. I'm going to leave that and it will just wear out in time. But everything else is lining up wonderfully. Right, on to 320. Okay guys, that's how it looks with the 320. The next step is to hit the buffing machine just for a little bit. I want to try to smooth that as much as I can, because after mixing together some vinegar and lemon juice and a little bit of mustard, I'm going to patina the flat and the back. Really happy with how that's turning out. All right, done with the buffer. If you guys can see, nice and mirror polished. Both sides up to the flat. Now let's put a patina on this. Alright guys, sorry for the quality of the lighting, it's not that good, but what we've got here, do not be fooled by its color. That is not an orange, that's a lemon, and it's extremely sour. Right next to it, Q-tips, a little bit of vinegar, and last but not least, some good old French's Spicy Brown. Let's start mixing. The blade has been wiped down, washed well with soap and water. Take my cup, squeeze in all this nice tart juice. This stuff will absolutely curl the hair on you. All right. Take some vinegar. Don't need a whole lot. The first thing that I'm going to do, stir this up, and I'm going to place this, just rub along, sorry, starting to darken, rub along the flats. And you see how it's, I don't know if you can tell on the video, but it's beating up. We're going to stop that here in just a second. But this is just an initial rub down. All right. All the spine to the point. Okay. Now, put the mustard on it. Same Q-tip. I'm making a mess. Please don't tell my wife. All right, here we go. It's on. The next thing to do is let it hang and dry. We'll check on it again in about 40 minutes or so. We're at about 40 minutes later, and you can see that the areas without the mustard have turned black. Now I'm going to take out the Q-tip and start making circles again, and as I remove the areas of yellow, you'll see where they're lighter now. So this, you guys can see, and I'm just going circles. As you can see, it's the areas where the mustard was really thick Probably didn't get as much oxygen as the rest, as much air, so not quite as much oxidation would be my guess. So now, do this again, and let it set for about another 40. Hopefully you can see that. It's been another 45 minutes, an hour or something like that. Got a little workout in. Let's do this again. Let's see if I can get it where you guys can see it. Okay, guys, one more hour has passed, and as you can see, all of the mustard has oxidized. It's all black now. So to check, let's get this where you guys can see it. Okay, so we got let's get to work. Last night I put one more coat of mustard on the blade. So now I'm going to wash this off with soap, water, and a sponge. And we'll see where we're at. The blade is now washed off, and I've added some oil to it. That turned out great. So the next step is to possibly hit the buffer on the primary edge real quick on that primary grind, and then go back to the 320 so we can get a nice crisp line right there. So this is after hitting it again with the 320. We've got our nice crisp line on the primary grind to the shoulder. The next thing I'm going to do is go to 600, 1,000, and then 2,000. And whenever I get all that done, I'll show you guys the finished results. That'll do. Guys, the ceramic is done. You can see on the reflection, nice convex edge, both sides. I'm loving the patina. Really happy with how that turned out, and it is crazy sharp. You know, that looks so good. I wonder how it would be on the WSK. Oh, wait, there it is. So I did the WSK last week, all these same steps, and now they are once again a matched set. I am very happy with how this project turned out. Well, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video, kind of step by step on how I got the regrind done down to convex and the patina on both blades. Both of them were done the exact same way. And I am just a huge fan of convex edges. For me, they're easier to maintain, and especially when dealing with wood, which I do a lot, it just seems to work better for me. So anyway, hope you enjoyed it. Take care, stay safe, and God bless.